Have you ever wondered why some students seem naturally motivated and others are not? Do you want your students to just hang on your every word because they are so intrigued by what you have to teach? Do you wish that you could get your students' attention and they just learn super easily? Maybe even a magic pill? That would be nice, right? Well, what if I told you that I have some solutions? You may need to hear these, but I want you to remember one thing before we get started. And that one thing is that you can actually not control your students. You can try different strategies, you can lead them to the learning process, but ultimately it's going to be up to them. With that said, what you can do is control how you will interact, respond, and proceed with teaching in a way that increases the possibilities that they will be motivated to learn. Hi, I'm Leslie. I'm helping teachers think about classrooms from a different perspective. I hope to inspire you and give you actionable steps to implement strategies to improve the total well-being of our students. So let's get started. Coming in at number 1 is building relationships. Establishing a strong, trusting relationship with students is foundational. When students feel valued and understood, they are more likely to be motivated. You can build relationships by showing genuine interest, getting feedback, and communicating with students about their lives. One of the easiest ways is having a special greeting or even making sure that you acknowledge and speak to every student at an individual level every day, even if it is simple as good morning and their name. Number 2 is to create relevance and real-world applications. Linking lessons to real-world context and showing how the material fits into a bigger picture helps students to see the value of their learning. For elementary kids, it needs to be something that they will use in their everyday lives. Bring in the significance of what is being taught. But what if they say, I will never use this? And what if you kind of agree? Maybe this curriculum you are told to teach a particular student may not even use it. Then teach and share how you are teaching them to learn anything, because practicing learning makes it easier to learn any new things or skills that you may need to learn in your life. Imagine a high school mathematics teacher. Her name is Miss Thompson, let's say, and she is known for her innovative approach to teaching. One day, she notices that many of her students seem disengaged and uninterested in the abstract algebraic concepts that she's teaching. Determined to change this, she devises a plan to show her students how these mathematical principles actually apply in the real world. So, Ms. Thompson introduces a project called Budget Balancing Act, where each student is given a hypothetical salary based on a career that they might be interested in pursuing. The students are then tasked with using algebraic equations to manage their monthly budgets, taking into account expenses such as rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, and savings. To make the project even more engaging, Ms. Thompson partners with a local bank that agrees to send representatives to talk about financial planning and the importance of budgeting. These representatives explain how the algebra the students are learning is used to calculate loan interest, credit scores, and investment returns. As the project progresses, the student becomes increasingly involved. They start to see how the algebra they once thought was just theoretical is actually crucial in everyday decisions like buying a car or choosing a mortgage. They use equations to compare different financial scenarios and to make informed decisions about their spending and saving. By the end of the project, the students not only have a deeper understanding of algebra, but they also appreciate its value outside the classroom. They are more motivated and interested in math, knowing the skills that they are developing can directly impact their future financial decisions. Through this project, Miss Thompson not only reinvigorates her students' interest in math, but she also equips them with practical skills that they will use for the rest of their lives. Her students leave her class not just with better grades, but with better real-world understanding that what they learn in school can have a direct implication on their daily life and future careers. Number 3 is student autonomy. Allowing students some choice and control over what and how they learn can increase their intrinsic motivation. This could be through project-based learning, choice boards, or allowing students to set their own learning goals. Let's consider Mr. Jacobs, an enthusiastic middle school science teacher who recognizes the diverse interests and abilities in his classroom. Keen to increase student engagement and ownership of learning, he introduces a new approach to his unit on renewable energy. Mr. Jacob starts by presenting the class with a broad overview of renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. He then introduces the main project for the unit. Each student is to choose one type of renewable energy and develop a project that demonstrates its principles and potential uses. He sets up various stations around the classroom, each dedicated to a different energy source. Each station includes starter materials, a small library of resources like books and articles, and a list of potential project ideas ranging from models and experiments to presentations and reports. Mr. Jacobs explains that students can choose not only which energy source that they want to focus on, but also the type of project that they want to create. They could build a model wind turbine, design an infographic about solar power, conduct experiment on biomass energy, or even write a proposal for a renewed energy initiative in their community. Throughout the unit, Mr. Jacob holds individual consultations with each student, helping them refine their ideas and encouraging them to explore their topics deeply. He facilitates workshops on research methods, project planning, and presentation skills to support the students in their chosen projects. As the project progresses, the student becomes visibly more engaged. They appreciate the freedom to explore an aspect of science that interests them and the autonomy to decide how they will present their learning. The classroom buzzes with activity as students experiment, create, and collaborate. The culmination of the unit is a renewable energy fair where students actually get to present their projects to the school and local community. The variety is impressive. One student demonstrates a solar-powered car, another gives an interactive presentation on the economics of wind power, and yet another showcases a documentary on the future of biofuels. Mr. Jacobs' approach not only deepens the students' understanding of renewable energy, but also instills in them a sense of responsibility and pride in their work. They had been given the freedom to make choices about their learning, and the results were a testament to their creativity and hard work. This experience leaves a lasting impression on the students, many of whom continue to pursue interest in science and technology, motivated by the autonomy that they experienced in Mr. Jacobs' class. Number 4 is positive reinforcement. Using praise and rewards effectively can motivate students. It's important to focus on effort and growth rather than just outcomes, to encourage a growth mindset. So instead of saying things like, "Good job," you should replace it with something more specific like, "I noticed how hard you worked on that." In a kindergarten class, Miss Lee uses a colorful sticker chart to reinforce positive behaviors and academic achievements. Each time a student shares with peers, completes a task, or recognizes letters and numbers correctly, they receive a sticker. Once a student collects 10 stickers, they can choose a small toy from Mrs. Lee's treasure chest. This simple system of rewards fosters a fun and engaging environment, encouraging young children to participate and learn with enthusiasm. And stickers not only work for elementary, but also for high school. Let's consider in an elementary school setting. Mr. Thompson is a fourth grade teacher, and he introduces a STAR student program. Each week, a student who demonstrates outstanding behavior, helps others, or improves academically is named as the STAR student. This student gets the privilege of being the line leader, helping with classroom duties, and a special badge to wear for the week. This recognition not only boosts the chosen student's self-esteem, but also motivates other students to strive for a similar acknowledgement. At the middle school level, Ms. Carter is a science teacher, and she uses points system where students earn points for submitting homework on time, contributing to class discussions, and performing well on tests. These points can be exchanged for privileges such as choosing a topic for a project, a homework pass, or even leading a class session. This method not only encourages academic diligence, but also fosters leadership skills and a sense of responsibility among older students. In high school, Mr. Daniels, he focuses on long-term goals and career readiness. He implements a mentorship program where students earn opportunities for internships or job shadowing based on their academic performance and class participation. This forms a positive reinforcement, prepares students for the future, linking their efforts in school directly to real-world opportunities and career advancements. Number 5 is to use engaging and varied teaching methods. So incorporating a mix of teaching styles to cater to different learning preferences, such as visual, auditory, kinesthetic, can keep lessons dynamic and interesting. Evaluate how your students like to learn best. Get feedback on what they enjoy learning and what types of activities help them to be engaged. Maybe they like to use technology games. Maybe they like to do projects. Maybe they like to create art or do theater. Find different ways based on their learning styles and preferences to keep things interesting. Number 6 is to set high expectations. Expecting a lot from students within reason often leads to higher performance. When teachers believe in their students' abilities, the students are more likely to believe in themselves. Ms. Grant, a high school English teacher, believes firmly in the potential of every student in her classroom. Known for her high expectations, she challenges her students to not only understand literature, but also connect it deeply with personal experiences and the larger world. At the beginning of the school year, she introduces her students to a rigorous curriculum that includes a wide range of literature from Shakespearean plays to contemporary novels. She explains that by the end of the year, each student will be expected to complete a comprehensive analysis of a literary work of their choosing, which will be presented both in written form and as an oral presentation to the class. To many students, the project initially seems so daunting. However, Ms. Grant reassures them that she believes each one of them is more than capable of meeting these expectations. And she provides a clear plan to help everyone succeed. Throughout the year, she organizes workshops on critical reading, analytical writing, and public speaking. She provides one-on-one sessions to discuss each student's progress and areas for improvement. As the year progresses, the students start to embrace the challenge. Ms. Grant's belief in their capabilities transforms their own perceptions of what they can achieve. The classroom becomes a dynamic environment filled with lively discussions and debates as students dive deeper into the chosen text, exploring themes, characters, and historical context. When the time comes for the final presentations, the students exceed even their own expectations. They deliver insights, analyses, engage confidently with their peers' questions. The quality of their work is significantly higher than in previous years, reflecting not only their hard work, but also the high standards set by Ms. Grant. In the end, Ms. Grant's students come away with more than just a good grade. They gain skills in critical thinking, self-expression, and perhaps, most importantly, a belief in their own potential. Ms. Grant's high expectations not only challenged them academically, but also fostered a sense of accomplishment and confidence. that they will carry with them into future endeavors. Number 7 is feedback. Providing regular constructive feedback helps students understand where they are doing well and where they need to improve. It's important that feedback is timely and actionable. It often is best if feedback can be one-on-one, but that may not always be the case. It's important to pay attention to the student's strengths and focus on that when giving feedback. Then you can add the suggestions after that. Like, remember when we talked about using adverbs in your writing? Give resources as a source of feedback. Ask them to look in the resource to find their answers. Let them still take responsibility for their learning without giving away the answers. Ask them questions to gain insight into what kind of feedback that they may provide to themselves. That can be a great exercise to see if they think that they're giving a lot of effort, or to recognize a discrepancy from what you view as to what they view. Number 8 is having a safe learning environment. Creating a classroom environment where students feel safe to express their ideas and take intellectual risk without fear of ridicule. Mr. Allen, a middle school art teacher, has created a classroom environment that is a sanctuary for creative expression. His room is decorated with student artwork, inspirational quotes, and prominently displayed set of classroom norms emphasizing respect, openness, and support. Mr. Allen starts the school year by discussing the importance of a supportive community where everyone feels safe to express their ideas and emotions through art without fear of judgment or ridicule. One day, he introduces a project called Express Yourself, where students are tasked with creating a piece of art that represents a personal aspect of their lives to reinforce the environment of safety and openness. Mr. Allen shares a personal story about his journey into art, discussing how it was a form of therapy during his challenging teenage years. His vulnerability encourages the students to view the classroom as a safe space where personal stories can be shared and valued. As the project progresses, students begin to work on their pieces, choosing subjects that are significant to them: family, dreams, struggles, joys. Mr. Allen walks around the classroom offering technical advice and emotional support, encouraging students to explore their feelings and ideas freely. When it comes time to present their artwork, Mr. Allen sets a tone of respect and curiosity. Each student explains the story behind their art piece, and classmates are encouraged to ask thoughtful questions and provide supportive feedback. One student, Emily, who is usually quiet and reserved, presents a painting depicting her struggle with anxiety. The classroom listens intently and responds with such warmth and understanding that Emily feels a newfound sense of confidence and connection with her peers. Mr. Allen concludes the project by reflecting on the power of art to express and heal. The class discusses how the project helped them understand and appreciate their classmates' experiences and perspectives more deeply. Through his thoughtful approach to teaching and his emphasis on emotional safety, Mr. Allen not only fosters a nurturing environment for creativity, but also helps the students to learn to express themselves and respect the diverse voices of their peers. This experience leaves a lasting impression on the students, teaching them the value of empathy and expression in a safe community setting. And coming in at a number 9 is encouraging collaboration. Group work and collaborative projects can make learning more interactive and engaging, and can motivate students by involving them in their peers' learning processes. Mrs. Patel is a high school biology teacher, and she understands that collaboration is not just a way to accomplish tasks, but a means to inspire and motivate students. Recognizing the diverse talents and interests in her classroom, she decides to center her genetics unit around a collaborative project that involves creating a model of genetic trait exhibition. Did I say that right? exhibition. Anyway, at the beginning of the unit, Mrs. Patel organizes her students into groups based on different interests such as research, design, technology, and presentation. She explains that the goal of the project is to create an interactive exhibition that educates others about how genetic traits are passed down through generations. Each group is responsible for a particular aspect of the exhibition, from researching genetic traits to designing interactive models that visually represent the concepts. To ensure that the project is deeply collaborative, Mrs. Patel sets up regular collaboration meetings where groups share their progress, challenges, and insights with each other. These meetings are structured to encourage feedback and ideas from different perspectives, fostering a supportive environment where students feel their contributions are valued. As the project progresses, students begin to take real ownership of their roles. They are motivated by the trust that Mrs. Patel places in their abilities and by the importance of their contributions to the overall success of the exhibition. For instance, the technology group develops a simple software simulation that allows visitors to design a baby by selecting different genetic traits, showing the probability of various outcomes. The culmination of their hard work is Exhibition Day, attended by students from other classes, teachers, and parents. The collaborative nature of the project becomes evident as each group expertly presents their part of the exhibition, seamlessly integrating their work into a cohesive whole. The interactive models are a hit, and the detailed explanations provided by each group demonstrate a deep understanding of genetic concepts, as well as an ability to communicate these concepts effectively. The feedback from the visitors is overwhelmingly positive, with many praising the students' ability to work together and create something informative and engaging. Mrs. Patel uses this opportunity to reflect on the power of collaboration, discussing with her students how combining the diverse skills led to the success of the project. Through this collaborative project, Mrs. Patel not only deepens her students' understanding of genetics, but also instills important life skills such as teamwork, communication, and mutual respect. Her students leave the project more motivated and confident, having seen firsthand how collaboration can lead to achieving great results. So, there you have it. Does this sound easy? Simple? No, of course not. I think that's part of what makes it common for teachers to ask, why aren't my students motivated? It's because it does take work, and lots of it. From building relationships to creating engaging lessons, every strategy is only something the teacher can do that means the extra time and energy to create it. But once you have dialed it in, you can repeat the system like a well-oiled machine. Each of these strategies can be tailored to fit the specific needs and dynamics of a classroom, helping to create an environment that fosters motivation and learning. Does this mean to motivate students you must do all 9 of these strategies? No, of course not. Try one out and experiment what works best and what you enjoy doing to go master your next moment.